Good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning into today's video on YouTube. There's some very good news around here. We've got a lot of bumblebee activities, as you can see here. We can see lots of common carder bumblebees buzzing around in action, and they're just pollinating for the last moments just before winter sets in. Of course, yes, we've got lots of nasturtiums around here. We've also got a bit of dandelions here as well. And as a bit of a memory down lane, from like a couple of, let's just say, months ago, do you remember which flower was there residing before it has actually got taken over by the army of nasturtiums? Do you know which flower it was? As I'm just straightforward starting to think, which flower was it? Oops, I didn't realise this section was very bright, but there you go. We can see acres of, let's just say, flowers. Very, very nice merry mix of zinnias and cosmoses. And there's even more zinnia action right over in the middle there as well. Oh, pardon me, sorry about that. There's more zinnias right here. And I can also see another zinnia right there. But unfortunately, what I can really see is some tomato plants. They've actually been toppled down in opposite directions here. This one here is trying to go nicely, but I can start to see a bit of elements of what's going on and what's wrong with this plant. I don't know, and I don't understand why this tomato plant has been failing. We can see a European wasp. In fact, there's two of them here. I think they're both females because obviously they're worker wasps. And as you can see, yeah, I think these plants have actually seen far much better days. They haven't been doing so well. But what's done so well are the vast swaths of nasturtiums. I can see bees and wasps doing their last bit of hard work, right over pollinating various flowers alike. And I can also see hoverflies doing their thing as well. Nice to know, because obviously they are doing the exact same jobs as what you find on a bee or a wasp. But they don't have the stingers, so that's very, very nice to know. And if I pick up one of these, oops, didn't think so. That one just flew away. They would have been pretty harmless. And there's another wasp. Are these thistles? I actually can't really tell. These weird-looking yellow dandelion plant-looking things. And I'm going to straightforward walk up towards that section there. We've got a very vast-looking cosmos bush. Yes, that's so nice to know. And we've also got... Oh, that's weird. Hang on, we've got lots of nasturtium seeds. But what you actually would have actually realised... Do you remember what plant that I've planted so far? It was a cosmos, and unfortunately, it looks like this one has actually been sort of dead. It's also been moisturised, and quite often when I see this going on here, and what I've noticed is, hey, look at that. We've actually got some very fresh-looking cosmos seeds, and there's a hoverfly buzzing around towards me here. We've actually got a lot of cosmos seeds, which I should have actually just picked off from I should have picked off a week ago, because obviously, look at that. These would have been very fresh-looking cosmos seeds. I'm actually going to put it on a very nice dry spot, because obviously that's what you should do when you store seeds outside, or inside, I suppose, hey? I'm not sure how these seeds are going to do very well. I'm going to have to turn the brightness up. I think maybe it would have been better if I would have just straightforward picked off and plucked out some seeds from, let's just say, if it wasn't really too wet. Because obviously, you know, with flowers, they often straightforward sow seeds. They may straightforward sow seeds independently, or they might as well just straightforward sow the seeds by humans. I don't know how that all works, but hey, everything's all moisturized somehow. It used to be all flower, but as you can start to see, hey, everything is all now turned into like little seed heads. So that's what the cosmoses are going to be transforming as the year progresses onto its final spot. We have got another cosmos that has been trying to flower, and this one here is exactly trying to flower, just like the other ones right here. But I don't think it's going to flower that long compared to these ones here, and I think that cosmos plant has actually been doing fairly better than what I've thought in the first place. Even this one here, it almost looks like as if these plants were biennial. There's another flower head like so. Strange enough, it almost feels like that if I would have planted those during early spring, maybe they might as well just start flowering during autumn. I might be telling you one, but that's the way it is. And actually, there's one thing that has just started to appear as I'm making here. Can you hear what's outside? I'll give you a break just to hear what's outside. Yes, so it seems like the birds are back, and there's one of my favourite buddies right here. It's a black and white cat. Hello. Nice to see you there. Somehow it looks like that cat is straightforward, very curious. It's basically on the move, and I can definitely tell of how curious this cat really is. I tell you what, I actually gave him like a bit of, hello. Nice to see you there, mate. Ah, beautiful day outside, hey? Nice seeing you, hey? I've actually fed this guy with a bit of pork, obviously, a bit of pork steak, because I think it was getting relatively old. And look at that tail on the back. And there's your little bum, which obviously I don't know how this all seems to work. Haven't seen you for ages, mate. Oh, man. Strange enough, that cat it actually has got a very swooshy looking tail. And if you look closely, that black and white cat, if I look closely around here, you can actually see that the fur is actually quite relatively brown. If I turn the brightness up, you can actually start to see that the fur, if you look closely, it's actually brown because it's been exposed to a lot of sunshine, especially during hot days as well in summertime, and the crows are straightforward taking over. You're a beautiful guy. Lovely stroking this guy right here. There's this beautiful looking tail. Wonderful critter. And as you can start to see, look how much fur this cat has straightforward shedded. It might probably grow, or he might probably grow during, let's just say, autumn time, which is the season that we'll be going up towards, because we've got lots of leaves. Strange enough, and this cat here has got a very swooshy tail. I don't know what that collar on that neck is for. Probably it's okay. I'm pretty sure you're someone else's cat, but I won't tell you. Aw, you really love cuddling and snuggling right over my head somehow. Wonder if I could straightforward. If I go a little bit closer, you can definitely hear this one purring. Not sure if I can really suggest thinking about that. I'm not actually quite totally sure, I suppose, hey? And it looks like he's off, with his bum being exposed. Hopefully if you've enjoyed your pork dinner, I suppose, hey, or your pork breakfast from today. Probably the smell of pig must have been straightforward caught up everywhere. Why am I sounding so unfluent today? Or not so fluent today? I don't know which word it is. God damn it. Anyways, so apart from the cat who has actually decided to just straightforward barged into my video making, we have got some nice fresh cosmos flowers that are straightforward about to appear. But I don't think they're going to be that long because we're going to go up towards winter time. As we can start to see, we've actually got a lot of hoverflies, we've got a lot of bees, wasps doing a little bit of hard work and whatnot. And apart from that, I can also see some vast swathes of nasturtium. But what also lies around here is a very surprising, oh that's weird, I thought it was a spider. To me it looks like a thistle. One of these little weird ball looking things. We've got nasturtiums right here, and actually if I look closely, there's a blackberry. That's quite interesting. Let me grab one of these. I don't think I've ever tried one of these. That looks nice and delicious so far. I'm pretty sure that's what birds seem to consume. We've got a long-tailed tit. They've actually finished breeding. They're straightforward roosting, as I can definitely tell. I can just see him. He's actually right over there somewhere. I can just see him. It's interesting, we've got a lot of long-tailed tits right over in the backyard garden, and they're just straightforward roosting communally because they've just finished breeding. So nice to know somehow. It's quite beautiful, these little birds. I can just see the little movements of that critter, and it's quite nice. And you can definitely see how they go through. They don't really in fact they really struggle during cold winters. But this bird here, in fact, we've got a communal roost of long-tailed tits. They do share the same habitat as in house sparrows, and I'm not sure if it's a juvenile, but it looks like that these birds are straightforward doing their little communal roost, and they're doing so just to straightforward build fat reserves before winter. Maybe I might as well try and get more bird feeding supplies to try and feed the birds during next 2 months' time, because we'll be coming up towards autumn time and winter, most importantly, up towards next year. Oh man, of course I'm going to try another blackberry. And you might be probably thinking, hey, how about if I just straightforward show it to you guys of me eating a blackberry right through camera? Maybe I might as well just get another one. They're very nice. Still juicy. It's actually, some of it has lost a bit of sweetness, but most of the time they've actually did preserve a lot of sweetness, and they do taste really good. They taste nice. Not that much sweetness involved, but they're straightforward. Sweetening it. That's somehow nice to know. They're all straightforward, sweetening it all up. That's nice to know. And apart from the birds, I can just see through these hedgerows, which they like to play around with. I can also see the cat again. And I wonder what that cat is up to. I hope you're not treading my flowers. Boy, they do smell really lovely somehow. I bet that cosmos has sunken down. It will turn itself into a seed head. I know you're so beautiful, but hey, you seem to be a complete voracious predator of birds. Hey? Oh, there you go. Can definitely socialise with a little critter, eh? There you are. You like to straightforward ram towards my head in a very soft and very gentle way. That's very nice to know. And it looks like that cat is straightforward going to explore, hopefully not getting attacked by bees and whatnot. Yeah, I can definitely tell that this cat is straightforward an excellent hunter, especially in bird gardens and all that sort of stuff. Kind of obvious somehow. And as you can see, that cat is straightforward prowling towards the other side of the backyard garden. You can see its beautiful looking tail, or his beautiful looking tail. I think it could be a male, but I can't really tell. I'm pretty sure when I'm just straightforward filming, there's about 3 black and white cats. We actually have got like 3 black and white cats in our neighbourhood, which is actually quite nice to know. And in fact, I can actually hear quite a communal roost of long-tailed tits. I haven't heard any house sparrows yet. And obviously that cat there, I can just see the beautiful looking eyes. Wow. Kind of looks like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, especially the live action one. Has anyone watched that film? Quite an amazing interpretation of an already good animated film. And the cat is just straightforward lounging right over at the backyard garden here, eh? Lovely looking face of yours. Wow, very pretty. Watch out for those thorns. Be careful not to get pricked, eh? Hopefully I won't get demonetized from saying that. Obviously, it's a beautiful looking day outside, even though it's about to get wet and a bit windy. In fact, it's turning wet and windy from that time being, because we are heading up towards autumn, and also for the fact that the forecasters have actually started to straightforward, predict this predicament, if I'm just straightforward alliterating it. Why am I using the same words? Oh, yes. That there's a field mustard. I actually forgot to realise that there's a field mustard. You see that yellow teeny weeny flower here? That's one of the few of its kind. A field mustard. And then we can start to see more bumblebees just buzzing around, hovering and buzzing around for some pollen and nectar, as what they always do. And the cat is straightforward wandering away, as you can see through these hedgerows. It's going from one backyard garden to another. It's wonderful to see, hey? And as the wind is hustling back again, it's reciprocating. Is it going eastwards? Could be going eastwards, I think. But it's a westerly wind, so we'll be getting lots and lots of rain and wind, obviously, somehow. It's the type of weather we've been straightforward relevant with for a long period of time. And that zinnia flower, as you can definitely tell, it's quite often when I start to look at this flower here, it looks like it has aged pretty well. And I'm saying it because you can start to see how much petal action this flower here has been going through, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know when this flower here is actually going to straightforward remove and shed all of its petals and become a seed head. Same with this one here. You find you can actually start to see some of the little discolorizations that the zinnia flowers tend to have. That's nice to know. And as I'm trekking across, we can start to see more zinnia actions. In fact, I'm starting to see that there, and I can also see another one there. I could try and plant more zinnia and marigold from next year if I want to, because they seem to open up their flower petals the exact same way as I always have seen. And it's getting nasty outside, but I want to show you some other things here around the backyard garden before I sign off. There's more flowers right here. Lovely looking flowers right there. There's more dandelions. We've seen so many of these, don't they? Really appear in a very weird, let's just say, relevant annual time, because I bet these are annuals and not biennials. We've got more flowers there, but it looks like they're just straightforward starting to fade away, because we are coming up towards autumn time, which will be very much crippling for plants. And strange enough, I'm also seeing a bit of wheat as well. Now, I'm sort of thinking with the wheat, they haven't been doing very well because I haven't grown them in a large communal crop. But as I can also see, apart from seeing all of them bushes looking fairly dry and or whatnot, you can start to see how, yeah, they just make some weird crumbling sounds, obviously, because it's been bone dry. And it's also for the fact that we had a relatively hot summer, and now we've just straightforward gone up towards autumn time. Just shows you how fast seasons change, don't they? It looks like we've got a few plant pots. That there used to be the onion plant, which unfortunately I don't think has been harvested that well. I should have actually harvested a little bit earlier than that. But on the bright side, we've got some wild cabbage flowers regrowing and stuff. There's another part of the leaf going around there as well too. Maybe I need to do some more back trimming like that to, let's just say, attract more flowers, or to straightforward promote more flower growth for next year. And then we've also got other weeds and other plants taking over. There's a wheat right there as well too. You can see it's fine wheat as well. I don't think it has been very much ripe. We might have to wait for another warm day to have it happen, I suppose, hey? Then we've also got these dried up looking plants, which I might probably definitely need to I might have to probably kill these ones. They don't look seemingly good, to be honest. Somehow it actually looks a little bit ugly somehow. I don't know if they sort of regrow and regenerate new fresh leaves, and I have to say they actually seem to arrive very early. You know, these brown leaves, that's what they normally seem to happen. You know, every autumn or every hot dry summer, let's just say one in every hot dry summer that we often tend to see in whatever year it might probably happen, these conditions appear quite frequently somehow. We're starting to see a lot of browning in our vegetation. So far, my backyard garden has been lush green and fertile, yet the browning has been also very prevalent, so much so that this summer has been one of the hottest and driest that we had so far for a long period of time. And what's even more surprising is, do you know one thing that has also appeared very abundantly? It's this. Strangely enough, it's an abundance of European ivy. This weed has been a voracious and invasive grower. This plant here will just grow and will never stop for anything. It will just stop for nothing and continue to persist on growing, let alone the fact that there is a fence right over it. And I tell you what, seeing that is not actually going to cause any alarm bells or whatever, but I tell you what, seeing all of this is crazy. It almost feels like I want to constitute whether it's a weed or a plant. You know, if it's a weed, kill it. If it's a plant, leave it. Or maybe you can just straightforward call it both. Anyways, I'm just going to straightforward get away from the stupid blackberry bushes, those thorny bushes there. They need to actually be trimmed. I feel like I need to go and get a pair of pliers and get rid of the damn things. But anyways, we've got this tree here. I might probably come back to do some bird feeding one day, because obviously I haven't found the actual bird feeder itself apart from this one here, and that has actually really straightforward been left alone for a long period of time. And I should try and reintroduce some more bird feeding methods. I might have to probably clean up and wash this thing because it's all been totally left out and about for a long period of time. Somehow I might have to try and think about a way to clean up this bird feeder, because I want to try and attract as many birds And somehow, if it wasn't for the pesky squirrels, I haven't seen any at all so far, because hey, our summer has been hotter and drier than usual. Strange enough, it has been quite a bit of a crippling one for various resources, whether it's for birds or for insects or whatever animals are like. And oh, look at this cosmos. As you can see, we're starting to see more big flowers, and then we're also starting to see more flowers sinking down, which is also quite the recumbency of these flowers. There's some more zinnia action right there. We can see yellows, oranges, pinks, reds. It's quite a very nice, hot-coloured sort of display of flowers. And actually, if you look at the nasturtiums, they really do climb exceptionally well. So as I'm starting to see, hey, there's a lot of like climbing activity from the nasturtiums. They really do grow invasively well. So in that case, hey, look at that. It's been surprisingly, and look at that. You can actually start to see that the nasturtiums have actually conquered this whole entire neighborhood of mine. You can see the whole backyard garden is completely invaded by a giant nasturtium plant. In fact, a complete army. And as you can see, it has been covering from this part of the garden to that part of the garden there. And it just covers a massive swathe of what I've just seen in my backyard garden. And that is just fairly fantastic. It's just so amazing to see. Wow, can you believe this? As summer is nearly coming to an end, and with the arrival of autumn dawning its way in, I can start to see just how massively big this garden is. Like, I can just see vast swathes of nasturtium plants, oh my goodness me, mooning around, without mentioning whatever that definition is, as in like the crescent sort of shape it's conquering in. It's like the Fertile Crescent. But hey, look at that. We're starting to see extra bits of growth, extra bits of buds, more leaves, more flowers, and I'll tell you what, by the end of the year, I'll be seeing lots and lots of seed heads. Or maybe these plants will be just straight for dying. Who knows about that? It will be interesting to see how next year is going to grow, or how next year is going to be like. I'll be collecting more seeds and hopefully start to regrow those amazing, simplistic looking flowers. And I tell you what, those big seeds there, they are one of the easiest flowers to actually grow. I can highly sincerely say that, I have to say, It's beautiful. Beautiful in so many ways. And actually, if I look at the nasturtiums, some of them they've actually somehow started to become a little bit wrinkly, or a lot more wrinkly now that these leaves have actually started to age a bit. Quite often, the way these leaves have been growing is so amazing. And I tell you what, I feel very proud of what I've just grown so far. It's an amazing flower, to possibly say the least. Do you know one thing I've actually totally forgot about these tomato plants? Because they seem to top it over like that, they haven't got any like wigwams or stand posts for them to actually grow, which is something I haven't really worked out for quite some time now. And apart from the tomato plants, I'm starting to see lots of other plants, and there's also, I think these are zinnias, and the crow's taking over the whole video. And we've also got another flower. Very good news somehow, very good news indeed, apart from the tomatoes looking a little bit hell-bent. And also, if I go up towards one part of my backyard garden, if you know where to look, there's some blackberries, and boy, do these fruits look absolutely ripe as heaven says. That is quite amazing to see. And I can also see a massive spider web. Now, I wonder what spider is doing its hard work. Would that be like a big garden orb spider? Like, a common garden house spider, whatever it is. But I can start to see lots and lots of fresh blackberries. It's so beautiful. We can start to see some very ripe ones, all bearing for fruit. And I think the hot, dry summer that we had so far has been a relatively perfect time to see all of these plants bearing such a very, very abundant source of fruit. I can start to see some red blackberries. That tells them they're raw. But I tell you what, most of it has been robbed because of the hot, dry summer that we'll be enduring so far. And I think the best part about having a hot, dry summer is that it actually quickly ripens the fruit so fast. And there's another spider web. Mind you, I could do another gardening tour video and see whatever spiders are around, and I can actually see, I can start to see a little bit of spider activity. Is this like a little, is that like a house spider? It's nearly the breeding season for spiders somehow, obviously, because obviously as spiders are straightforward coming into people's houses, and as you know, the air gets a little bit colder during, let's just say, August to September, obviously, way before, let's just say, when winter hits, which is at its prime time cold peak. Obviously, the spiders are straightforward, doing their best to find a mate, select them, and then raise the next generation for the next spring. That's amazing to see. I'll tell you what, it's been relatively fun making this whole video. So anyways, if you really enjoyed so far and one of the longest videos I've made so far, throughout the rest of my garden so far, I have to say, please give this video a very good like. Oh, there's some beautiful daisies here. Mind you, they're growing relatively small these days somehow. I don't know why. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and bye for now.